What's up, guys? I'm leaving work now, and just wanted to update you on some of the latest, that juicy news that's going on in WWE, that juicy WWE goodness. So we'll start off with the big name, Brock Lesnar. Of course, he's been announced as the cover athlete for WWE 2K17. We know that he is scheduled to fight at UFC 200 tomorrow night, but not only that, now he is going to be in the main event of UFC 200 fighting Mark Hunt. This comes after Jon Jones gets suspended or removed from the card or whatever for doping. So Dana White must have not been a happy person, because there goes his main event. I think this isn't the first time Jon Jones has been caught with drugs or something along those lines. So that main event is out the window. Brock Lesnar is now the main event. This could go very good or very bad for us WWE fans and for Brock Lesnar himself, because this is supposed to have the highest buy rate, and although Brock Lesnar is a marquee attraction, he's not very popular among UFC fans, is my impression. I'm not a huge UFC fan. I'm familiar with it. I've watched a few fights. I've watched Brock Lesnar's fights, but I watched Brock Lesnar's fights because I'm a wrestling fan and I wanted to see how he would do. So we'll see how this goes with the main event. They're both knockout artists. I don't know if Mark Hunt has the wrestling ability or any sort of technical ability that Lesnar has. We know Lesnar has that amateur wrestling background, so we'll see how that plays in. We'll see if... We know he can suplex City every single person in the ring. Like, he could German suplex a shark and F5 a bear if he wanted to, but can he double leg takedown Mark Hunt? We'll see how that goes. I mean, it's been a few years since Lesnar's been in a UFC fight, so I'm interested to see how this goes. In other Brock Lesnar news, his SummerSlam opponent was finally revealed, and god damn it, spoilers, it was Randy Orton all along. I believed it, because it was just like, it was a realistic spoiler. But once it happened, I was like, man, I really wish I didn't read that spoiler. Or not the spoiler, it wasn't even a spoiler, it was a rumor. And I was like, it's a rumor, but this is a big match. We haven't seen Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar since 2002, when Brock Lesnar was in the midst of his first WWE title reign. So he was green, but he was still a star. Randy Orton was just green, and he got thrown around the ring like nothing. Now they are both megastars. Brock Lesnar is both a UFC and WWE star. Both of them are multi-time world champions. Randy Orton is like an established guy in WWE. Like, Roman Reigns is calling himself the guy, but we all know the guy is John Cena. The other guy was Randy Orton. You know, John Cena was the good guy, the superhero of the WWE in the mid 2000s. The bad guy was Randy Orton. I mean, he had his rivalries with Edge and everything, but I still think Randy Orton was the quintessential top of the card bad guy in the mid 2000s, and has always been like a top guy ever since. He's a how many title runs has Randy had? He's had a lot. Not as many as Cena, but he's had a lot. So to think that this is a match that we haven't seen in 12 years, but to think that this is a match we haven't seen ever, because we haven't seen Brock Lesnar versus megastar Randy Orton. We saw him take on John Cena, took his ass to Suplex City, and then they had a rematch which ended in disqualification. But this is a match we have not seen before. Randy Orton, who is no longer green, an experienced, more sinister, more diabolical Randy Orton. Cena is a brawler and he can take the fight to Lesnar, but Orton is more diabolical. He's more cunning and conniving. Like, he can go that extra mile. He can go to that dark place that he needs to pick up a win. And you need that, especially against Brock Lesnar. Hell, even The Undertaker went for the low blow. Lord knows what Randy Orton will do. Hey, maybe we'll see the return of the punt. Probably not. We have the Cruiserweight Classic kicking off, being televised next week. We know it's been taped already, but I have avoided watching spoilers for that, because just like NXT, I've looked up spoilers for NXT once or twice, and I always regret it. So I've refused to look up spoilers for the Cruiserweight Classic, just because, like, I want to see this play out. Like, they're building it up and hyping it up like it's a real sporting tournament, and that's what it needs. Like, that's what makes it feel special, and that's what makes it feel like it's a real contest to see who's the best. You almost forget that it's all predetermined. Maybe they don't know who the winner of the tournament is right now, but they know who's gonna well, right now, but at the time of the tournament beginning, I don't think they knew who was going to win it. But they knew who was going to win the first round, and then after the first round, after analyzing everything, they find out who's going to win the second round. But it's still fun to watch. Like, just the way they've hyped it up, I'm excited for it, and seeing the brackets come out, yeah, you have obvious first round matches. Like, I remember seeing the name Jason Lee, and he was going up against, I don't know, Kota Ibushi or something like that. I don't know who their exact opponents were, but I was like, Jason Lee has had no hype, and Kota Ibushi has been given all the spotlight, or whoever Jason Lee's opponent was. They've been given spotlights, and they've been given highlight packages and focuses, so it's like, you know that Jason Lee is gonna lose in the first round. You know generally who's advancing in the first round. There are a couple toss-ups, but after looking at the bracket, I'm predicting that Zack Sabre Jr. will be in the Final Four. I'm predicting Final Four right now. Zack Sabre Jr. is one. In his quadrant of the bracket, I don't see anyone else who could take his spot, especially with all the hype around him. And then in the opposite quadrant, I think it's Kota Ibushi. I don't think there's really anyone who can contend with him. I think it's... I'm doing this off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's Kota Ibushi in the top right quadrant. Bottom right, I'm thinking it's either got to be Johnny Gargano, simply for the fact that he is an NXT guy and he's got a lot of hype around him, or TJ Perkins. Because I know TJ Perkins has a lot of hype. He got the spotlight. They really played on his growing up poor story and living out of his car. So, and he's a great athlete. I've seen a couple of his matches. Most of these guys in this tournament I've never seen before, and that's why I'm excited to see this tournament. I want to see all these new guys. Like, at first, I had that mentality of, oh, it's a guy I've never seen before, why do I care? But after watching NXT for the past year and a half, or whatever it's been, I love seeing these new talents, and I love seeing all these indie guys and what they can do. Like, I'm excited to see who's going to come out with what. So TJ Perkins is someone who I've seen a little bit of, and I'm excited to see more in this tournament. And I'm thinking he goes to at least to the Elite Eight. I'm saying the Elite Eight will be TJ Perkins versus Johnny Gargano for that spot in the Final Four. And then top left quadrant, I think it's going to be Akira Tozawa, but I'm not sure. I mean, that corner was a little more vague. Oh, it could have... So that corner, Final Four, is either going to be Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, or Gran Metalik. I don't know how you pronounce his name. But so those seem to be the three biggest names in that quadrant. I don't know any of them too well. I know Jack Gallagher is a small guy, but he's really technically sound. Akira Tozawa has a lot of that hype around him. And Gran Metalik, I think out of all of the Hispanic representatives, I'll say Hispanic representatives, he seems to be the biggest name there. So maybe we see him in the Final Four, but I'm not sure. That quadrant, I really don't know. But the big names, of course, are Zack Sabre Jr., Jack Gallagher is a big name, Akira Tozawa is a big name, Kota Ibushi, TJ Perkins. I think those are the ones to look out for when you get to the Elite Eight Final Four. Those are going to be the guys who are probably going to move on. So for news, I'm not really sure what else is going on, because I don't pay attention to rumors. I mean, I paid attention to the Randy Orton rumor, but I didn't address it. I usually wait for stuff to come out. I don't know what other rumors or anything. Who's honking? Seriously? I don't know what other rumors and anything else, speculations are floating around right now. I just checked the WWE app, and it looks like Monday Night Raw is going to see the return of Vince McMahon. So he'll probably address the whole SmackDown Live general manager, COO. I guess they're calling them COOs instead of general managers. I think he's supposed to address all that on Monday. Whether he names the people or not, I'm not sure. But there's a short little thing in the app that said he will be addressing it. Also, apparently the New Day is going to the Wyatt family compound on Monday. I figured that would be a Battleground thing, but it's happening on Monday. So I'm actually looking forward to that, especially after seeing the final deletion, which is just comical. I don't know if it was intentionally comical or if it was just so bad it was comical. There's a variety of reactions to that, varying from It was brilliant, and it was beautifully executed. It was very, because they incorporated, it was in the Hardys' backyard, so it's not like they had a live audience. So what they did is they made it all cinematic. They had the cameras going around, they had the dramatic music in the background, and it was weird. It was different, but in a good way. Like, in a way only the Hardys could pull off. Like, Jeff doing a swanton out of a tree into the ring, Matt firing off fireworks at Jeff. Oh, man. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, Matt Hardy has lost his mind. The character has. I guess they're calling him Broken Matt Hardy. But go ahead and watch that match. I won't spoil the ending for you. Did Jeff get deleted? Did Brother Nero get deleted by Matt Hardy? With his hodgepodge of accents. I don't even know what it is. It's like Victorian, African, some mix of that. But long story short, that's what I'm expecting from this Wyatt family compound sort of thing. I guess because the final deletion was taped weeks ago. I think when WWE was in Japan last weekend, they got film of it. Someone got film of it, and they were able to watch it backstage, and everyone loved it. And I guess WWE loved it enough to try this Wyatt family compound angle. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know if that one's going to be pre-taped. Probably pre-taped. But I'm wondering if they're going to do the whole cinematic version of it with, like, the cameras, like, all flying around. I'm curious, because it's going to be so different. Because, like, the Hardy Boys is just, like, a backyard with a wrestling ring. The Wyatt family compound is going to be way different. It's going to have a way different vibe about it. But also happening on Raw, The Miz's #1 contender will be announced. They're going to have, I think it's a Battle Royal. And I guess that'll be his Battleground opponent. Honestly, since Battleground is already 2 weeks, like what, there's 2 Raws left until Battleground. And they're announcing the #1 contender on this Raw. That better be a pre-show match, because you can't build it up in 2 weeks and have it be a main card. Like, I would rather see Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler again on the main card than see Miz face some Battle Royal winner for the title. You're also going to have Ryder face off with Rusev. That's all I said. They said face off. So I don't know if that's the actual title match that Ryder challenged Rusev for, if it's like a contract signing or something. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like this content, subscribe for more. And as always, see you next time.